What's up, guys? It's 9:47. It is May 23rd and it's Saturday night. If you're watching this video, you're probably going to be a part of the next 1%. You're probably searching and watching videos and taking notes endlessly and just trying to seep and learn knowledge of whatever it takes to get you to that next level. Because I remember being in your shoes once, doing this exact same thing. For anybody that doesn't know who I am, my name's Michael Ruiz. I'm not no guru or guy who has a title to his name that is certified to drop knowledge or information on anything, but I'm a guy from New Jersey who has went through the ups and downs of life, and I feel like I've gone through enough to drop some advice that you don't have to follow, but it worked for me, you know? But yeah, I do door-to-door sales. I really want to inspire other people, be the light at the end of the tunnel that I wish that I had growing up, and just show people that anything that you want in this life is possible, because the world is truly in our hands and the world is our oyster. But for a lot of people out there, it just takes them so long to realize that. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Today I want to talk about war stories. I want you to close your eyes, or at the end of the video, just wonder what your war story is, and keep it real with yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and take it personal, because that's what I did to get to the next level. I think that everybody has a war story, something that you went through internally in your life that forms you to be the person that you are. And I feel like I have a lot of canon events in my life that when I connect the dots backwards, it all just seems to make sense as to like why things ended up playing out the way that they did. The universe is super strong and the universe is very forgiving, and the universe always just puts uncanny events that happen that all just end up clicking and making sense later. And I don't know how to explain that, but I've just seen it happen time and time and time again. I remember being that kid growing up that knew that I had that swagger, knew that I had that confidence, knew that I was different, right? Everybody called me weird. Everybody said I was different. Like, yo, Mike, like, dude, you really gonna go talk to that girl? You really about to go and freaking flip the bottle? Like, you really about to rap? Like, dude, like I was just like a butterfly, you know? And the one thing that I knew is that no matter what, I was going to be good at whatever I did. And it was just one of those deep-rooted internal things. And here's a couple of reasons why. My dad always told me growing up that I could do anything I wanted to do, that I am that man. And it took me so long to realize that I've been that man all along. That's how come I'm just always stressing on how the dots connect backwards in life sometimes, you know? And my mom, because my mom and my dad ended up separating. We don't have to get too in detail. Pretty much though, my mom is one of the hardest working people that I know. The hardest working people that I know. Always had food on the table for us, always supplied for us. We never had to worry about a thing. And we weren't rich, we weren't poor, but we weren't, like well off either, if that makes sense. But we always had enough, and I appreciate the fuck out of that, looking back, you know? But my mom is a really hardworking person. She dropped out of school because when I was born, I was premature, 2 pounds, 2 ounces, and nobody wanted to take care of me because I had a huge breathing tube, and I was at risk and I was a hazard, and I turned purple and I just stopped breathing. So unfortunately, my mom couldn't fulfill what she actually wanted to do because she made that sacrifice for me. I'm not even supposed to be here, which is why she calls me her miracle baby. And I really think that I am a miracle baby, because I know that I was put on this earth to impact people and share my story and be a light at the end of the tunnel for others. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. Like growing up, you always go back and forth with your parents, like a freaking bad relationship, you know, like you and your ex. Like whether it's about school, whether it's about the way you're acting, whether it's about what time you're going to bed. And like, with me, like, cause I was such a rebellious kid, like we were always arguing. Like, dude, it came to a point where like there was Ring cameras freaking at the computer to watch me, cause I'd always sneak onto the computer cause my mom would work the night shift, and I'd be trying to freaking stream Roblox and make money online because I was actually like getting paid, you know? But fuck, what was I getting at? I lost my train of thought. But everybody has those arguments with their parents, you know? But you always have those arguments that just stick with you pretty deep. And, you know, when you're mad, things always get said out of context and not everything is meant, you know? But, and perspective is everything, because at the time, I thought it was a bad thing. And perspective is everything, right? Because at the time, I looked at it as a bad thing. But looking back now, it was all out of love. I wasn't doing good in school. I was focused on games. I was focused on making money online. And my parents didn't understand that because I was literally tunnel visioned on what I saw our generation could do. But when you have parents that are from Africa and they've never understood that or seen that, then it just always had us clashing, you know? And to the point to which my mom was like, oh, I sacrificed so much for you. You can't do good in school. It's like, why are you here? You're a waste of space. Freaking, I don't love you. And you know, I can say that out loud without having any shame about it because I accepted it for what it was and realized it for what it was, you know? And at the time I was so young, I didn't understand it, you know? I thought it was all hate. I thought it was like God just putting things against me. But in reality, it was all out of love because my mom just wanted the best for me. Growing up in an African household, because I wasn't doing good in school, because I was always getting in trouble, because I was always getting phone calls from school, and I didn't know what I was going to do with my future. I was always being told that I wasn't going to amount to anything. My stepdad literally told me before I graduated about a year before it, I believe. I have the photo on my phone. That you are not going to amount to anything. And remember how I said you have those things that just stick with you real deep? That was one of them. Imagine being in the car with your mom and then freaking not a guy who's not even your dad, your stepdad, for one. Literally, and it was one of those things that was always happening. But that time it just kind of hit deep. It's like, you don't even wake up, you don't even brush your teeth, you don't even do the bare minimum. What do you think you're going to do out there in the real world once you actually become an adult? You're not going to amount to be fucking shit. If you can't do well now, what makes you think you're going to do well later? And I remember sitting in the backseat of that car and just freaking saying in my head, and that was one of those canon events in my life that actually changed everything. So I remember when I ran away from home, it wasn't to just prove it to myself, it was to prove it to everybody around me. And I haven't talked to my stepdad in the past 5 years. Because I literally did everything that I said I was going to do. You know, like I literally just got paid out 20 grand on my last check. And it's crazy, you know. But even though I grew up with so much negativity around me and a whole bunch of people that obviously had the best intention for me, but I didn't see it that way because I was in a different generation and I just had a different mindset. I still had that internal belief that I was going to be something, and I ended up being something, you know? And that's how come I make this video, because I know that there's people that are growing up, having those tough conversations with their parents, and probably don't know what they want to do. Because I didn't know what I was going to do. I literally found out about door-to-door sales on Reddit. And that's how come I say God is so fucking good, because everything happens for a reason. And I truly believe that. If I listen to everybody in my life that was telling me to not listen to my gut, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So if you're out there, trust yourself, because I'm so gosh damn fucking happy that I did. And the journey up until this point, trust me, it hasn't been easy. It's probably been a journey of the most ups and downs ever. But what's a story in life without a journey, you know? And that's the beauty in it. And it takes people so long to realize that that's the beauty in it. It doesn't have to be perfect right away. It doesn't have to be sunshine and rainbow overnight. It's the struggle that builds that grit and that deep self-belief, that self-rooted belief in yourself. Because I'm not just talking about some surface level shit, and for those that can really feel what I'm saying, understand what I'm saying. If I listen to everybody around me for years and years of all 18 years of my life growing up and didn't decide to take the risk on myself, God is so fucking good because he instilled that belief in me and I listened. All my life I was telling myself if I got out of New Jersey and got myself around the right people that I wanted to be around, like-minded people, actually put myself in a vehicle that's going to elevate me, I know that I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity. I'm going to fly with it. But if I listened to everybody telling me not to, and not God putting that sign in my life and jumping on the opportunity, you guys literally wouldn't even be seeing this video on your screen today. So that's how come I always strongly encourage to get out that journal. Really do some self-editing with yourself and figure out those little nuances in your life growing up that affect you subconsciously that you don't even know are affecting you, and work on those things. I strongly encourage it, because if you know that you're going to be great, I promise you that you are going to be great. You're not crazy. That feeling in your head is not crazy. It's delusion, and you need to be delusional to be successful. And I'm so happy seeing all the comments, and I'm starting to get people sharing my content, and people really wanted me to share just more wisdom and knowledge. So I see all of you guys out there, and that's the only reason why I decided to freaking sit in my car and make this video, because I know that there's people out there that need it. There's not a lot of good content out there nowadays as is, and like I said in my short, I'm ready to put myself out there for real. See you guys in the next video.